again. Yay. But not just to go to town. It's a real live road trip, and I am so excited. This has been in the works now for months. I was invited to my daughter and family, those two grand sweet peas, invited to their home for a couple weeks. Actually, for Thanksgiving. Pretty sure this will post after Thanksgiving though, because I've already done a couple other videos that come before this. But I like to think of this as real time, because I'm like real time right now telling you what I'm doing. Even though when you watch it, it won't be on the exact day. How about that? Yeah, it's been a while. The last road trip was a short one. It was like just go and come back pretty much. I think I don't know if I remember if I stayed overnight or not. But I went and picked up a custom ladder for the loft, for the tiny home. And then before that, it was like a couple months before that, I went to the beach and was just meandering around for a little while. And so here we are. Now it's a longer road trip. And I'm going to take a few detours. And I will tell you all about what's on the agenda. So, I hope you will join me. Thank you all for coming along on the road trip. And for those of you who are new, I'm Linda. Just an ordinary girl who loves Jesus, is grateful for every breath. I live in a tiny home, but I love venturing out, as I did for 3.5 years as a nomad, living in my car. So that's the short and sweet of it. I'm very happy you're here, those of you who are new. Yeah, I am packed to the brim. I think when I went to the beach, I showed you all my bags and how I packed everything. That trip was only for, I don't know, maybe 4 days. I can't remember. Now I'm going to be gone for a little over 2 weeks. And I just feel like I have really packed a lot of stuff. I started putting stuff in the SUV, which this is Happy Haven, a few nights ago. And I was like, okay, I'm good to go. I only have a few more things. Oh my gosh, today it was the cooler. It was my shoe bag, miscellaneous bag, shower bag. Yeah, it just went on and on. So I'm really packed. I've got a few projects that I'm going to be working on while I'm visiting the family. Oh, and by the way, say hi, Andy. Woohoo! This is Andy. He's been my traveling companion for a very, very long time, since I became a nomad back in 2018. And yeah, he goes with me on my trips. He doesn't talk much, but I make up for that. And yep. So I packed clothing for like 3 different types of weather. Cold, medium cold, and kind of warm. And I brought along food, probably 6 or 7 meals, although, I don't know, last time I traveled, I barely ate anything that I brought along. In my cooler, I've got some meatloaf that I made the other day and I froze. I have a bag salad, which I like to take along on road trips. They're fun to have. And I brought some frozen fruit along. I made a pizza today and ate half of it, so I've got half of it yet to eat for lunch. Yeah, it's all pretty random. I've got my snack attack box up front, that I carried with me for all those years. If you go back to the playlist, you can see my life as a nomad and how I pack things. I've got one bag that has like 2 sweatshirts in it. It has one of my favorite jackets. It has a sweater. I mean, before you know it, you're like taking half the closet. It's kind of weird. I don't like being discombobulated like this. I have the 6-drawer unit in here, but I don't have anything in it because I've got the Amazon basic bags, which I'll carry into my daughter's, and I won't have to fuss with hangers. I've got all my clothes rolled. What else do I have? Oh, I brought my 2 pillows that I now, use inside the tiny home, which I call Stepping Stone Retreat. And then I have my pillows that I always used. I sleep in the front seat here, so I surround myself with pillows. What else do I have? I'm going to be making blankets for my grandkids, the sweet peas, and I brought the yarn along, like to make the entire blanket, even though I know I'm not going to use it all while I'm gone. Well, I start talking these days and my throat just gets messed up. Excuse me. And I'm thinking about, I brought 2 of those 8-pack canvases, doing some pour painting. Has anyone ever done pour painting? Put in the comments. I'm going to try that out. Maybe I'll do a little video of us pour painting. Although they won't be in the videos. I know that for a fact, and I wouldn't want them to be in the videos anyway, so you won't see the fam in the videos. Maybe I'll show a little bit of me pour painting if we do that. Well, no, don't have any expectations, just gonna go with the flow. They don't do traditional Thanksgiving, and so I'm like, my daughter mentioned about getting barbecue stuff, and I'm like, hey, I am game. I love change. I don't have to hold fast to tradition. I've had enough turkey. I love turkey, but I've had enough traditional turkey meals that being without a turkey meal is not going to affect me one way or the other. So that's cool. Whatever they do is going to be great. I'm actually going to be there 2 weeks because I am going to pet sit for a week. They have 2 big dogs. One is like 95 pounds, and the other, she's like 12 years old too. So, and the other one is I don't know how old the other one is. And then they've got a sweet little cat. So that'll be fun. I brought my laptop, I brought paperwork, I brought stuff to do new videos, to continue with the porch inspiration that I've been doing. I hope you enjoy those. This will probably be just, I don't know, I'll sit outside on their patio table maybe and maybe do a couple shows. I really don't know. I brought a book along to read, and I know the time's going to go just like that, I mean, I've been anticipating this for a long time, and I had those little antsy feelings. I was going to leave like 2 days ago, and it's pretty chilly out, and I was like, I'm so cozy in the tiny cabin, although once I get going, I'm like, wow, Linda, you should do this more often, because I absolutely love to drive. It puts me in such a relaxed, enjoyable state. And you probably don't see that in the tiny home because I'm planning videos and I'm like wanting to be on Whereas when I'm talking and driving, there's a little bit more calm state, I guess. Hey, and speaking of books, thank you all who have purchased my brand new book, Road to Revival, A Gypsy Soul Nomad Journey. It's my baby. I started this book probably early 2019. And by starting it, I mean I started blogging, which helped to reference, to keep track of the material that I wanted for the actual book. I am going to do a video show on the journey of writing this book. Never thought it would be 4 years, but it makes sense because, you know, if I had published it after a year, you wouldn't have the whole journey in here, right? So that's pretty cool. And I thank you all for the beautiful, beautiful reviews. Oh my gosh. Y'all know how to make a girl's day, don't you? I'm so, so blessed and grateful for those. And for those of you who haven't yet reviewed, I would really appreciate it. I mean, if you have a positive review, I don't see any point in negative reviews. Like, half the time when I see negative reviews, I just ignore them because, you know, usually those people they're not well. We'll just leave it at that. And so, but I love reading positive stuff. And so I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I'm going to do probably a video also on what you can expect out of this book. And it's not just a story, but it's packed full of a lot of different stuff in here. So that's about it on the book. And I wanted to go over what I brought. Oh, I have a huge, like just a regular, not huge, it feels huge, one of those shopping bags, and I filled it with water bottles, and I've got about 8 or 10 of those carbonated water flavored drinks. So I brought those along. My daughter was so sweet. She asked me what kind of coffee, and I was like, oh, I'll bring my own coffee. I didn't want her. And she's like, what kind of cereal? Just very thoughtful. And I'm just like, no, whatever you have is good by me. I'm totally cool with that. And yeah, I'm gonna pet sit because they're gonna go off on a little glamping vacation for a few days, and that just melts my heart because, you know, I'm not there on a regular basis to help them out. So it's just bringing me such joy to be able to do this. And in addition to the trip to see them, I'm going to take a few detours and check out land, kind of in a very lighthearted realm. Like when I first started looking back in Tennessee, I started looking at land because I knew that was the direction I was headed towards, and I just didn't know when, so I looked at land. Although this time I'm not going with a realtor because there's no need for a realtor right now. Speaking of no need for a realtor, I just turned over a year in what was formerly Rocky Pine Retreat. I'm now calling Stepping Stone Retreat. I love that name so much better because I love, my life is like stepping stones. How about you? Is your life like stepping stones? Sometimes you're on flat stones and then you go down, and maybe you'll go up, and they're different sizes, and sometimes they're bumpy and sometimes they're not. I love little metaphor analogies like that. So Stepping Stone Retreat, yes, I've lived there a year now. And really, if you've been watching me for any short length of time, you'll know I'm very content there. Although I am one who likes to plan and goal set, and eventually having my own a little piece of land, little piece of land, is going to do very well for me into the future. Just planning my future. Where I'm at now, I lease, and financially, that's not the best thing for me to do down the road. So no hurry. I just paid for another year in advance, because if you do pay your year in advance, you save a month's rent. So I'm always about saving. And so, but anyways, with my little detour, I'm going to check out some different areas and just get a feel for things, and God's will for my life, and how he's going to roll out the plan. Things could change tomorrow, or they could change a year from now, or they could maybe not change at all. You just never know. And I'm looking forward to whatever that is. I was thinking about everything that I did this past year, and how quickly the time flew by. And I just completed another major project today, although it was not as major as the book. I completed the 2 digital albums that I have shown you guys. I think a couple different times I showed you working on albums in Mixbook, and I ordered the books today. They're 12 by 12s. Ooh, they were a pretty penny. One book is like 60 some pages, and the other book is over 200 pages. So I will be showing you those. They should be in a couple weeks, and I'm actually having them sent to my daughters, because if they come in, it would be fun to show the fam my travel books. And I think they're going to make a great resource if I decide to do some car camping workshops, which that's in the future also. Love to plan and goal set. Goal set and plan, whatever. They're kind of one and the same, and they're kind of not. Planning is just like looking ahead, and then goal setting is making a strategic plan in my mind. So where you have dates and you follow up and follow through with your plan into an actual goal, if that makes any sense. But so I worked on these books for 7 or 8 months. I did have a couple month interruption while I was finishing up the book, especially when it was with the formatter. And but today I hit the send button, or the order button, and so hopefully they'll be a nice treasure and memory. I justified the cost, thinking, well, all these pictures printed, I think I have over 3,000 in one book. That would have cost me a lot of money in printing cost, right? And then, they were all taken with my phone, so I don't have the camera expense, and I don't have to buy scrapbooks and colored paper and all that stuff that goes along with scrapbooking. So I guess when you're spending hundreds of dollars for 2 books, it's not so bad. Do any of you do digital albums? Put in the comments. I love them. So we're losing our daylight time really fast. I'm going to be driving for probably another 3 or 4 hours. It'll probably be dark, because I did get a later start than I wanted to, which always happens, but that's okay, because if I got an earlier start and I want to stop at 6 o'clock, then what am I going to do? So yeah, pretty excited to relive this little journey. I'll be staying at rest areas, and maybe the Walmart parking lot. Maybe I'll stay at a Buc-ee's, and I've already looked those things up ahead of time. Then when I get back to the tiny home, I'll be like, wow, this is so cool. So now that I have these major projects done, until I get into doing the blankets, which is the next thing, by evening, I'm just like sitting around and watching some independent journalists, keeping up with what's going on in the country. not watching any mainstream media, like zero. I'll watch some Encourage TV, or which is on YouTube, or I'll watch Christian movies. But by 8 or 9 o'clock, I'm like done for the day, so I might as well be traveling. Part of me was like talking myself out of it. I'm like, oh, it's too chilly, because I'm going to be around a beach area again, and I'm like, I'm not going to be going to the beach, but I'm just going to savor the moment. I just felt like led by God to go a few days early, at my grandchildren's house, and just see what's up. So I hope you enjoyed that show with Robbie coloring my hair. I can't tell if there's really a difference or not. It might be a little lighter looking. She feels like it looks a little softer. I don't know. I always kind of think it looks soft until, when I first wash it, but I don't know. So, hair's one of those things, with us women. It's like one day it looks good and the next day it's like, what's that all about? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that show. It was fun. It was fun getting my hair colored with home coloring for the first time ever in my life. I think that'll about do it for the Babbling Brook for today. Hope you'll look forward to some new shows that I'm planning about, writing my book, and another show about what's all in my book, why you should buy it, why it can be good for you even if you're not planning on being a nomad. I may even do a show about stationary versus traveling life, and got some more inspiration up here that I want to get out there. So with that, guess that'll about do it. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, however long that is for you. So blessings in your day and joy in your journey. Please subscribe and click the bell and share this with a friend. Thank you all.